The Jaguar, a symbol of power and precision, the apex predator of the jungle. Known for its unmatched speed, strength, and agility. And in the heart of Duval County, the city of Jacksonville echoes with anticipation as the Jaguars gear up for their home opener against the Cleveland Browns. After a disappointing start, the Jags are on the prowl to reclaim their dominance.
We gave it away in our opinion, but we know that, and you can't do that in this league.
With a commanding presence and a hunger for victory, the Jaguars are primed to make their mark this season. From Channel 4, the local station, this is News 4 Jags. The roar begins.
Welcome here into News 4 Jags. The roar begins. We're trying to do a little bit of a tailgate show. Rain maybe put a little bit of a damper on our plans, but it doesn't stop the vibes.
It does not matter, because the one thing the rain cannot stop is the Jags this weekend. Obviously, if we face off with the Browns, we're coming in pretty tight. Everyone's got something to prove, but we've got the home court advantage.
Our original plan was to be over at the slab, but obviously the rain maybe put a little bit of a damper on that. But we set up our tailgate out here. We've got cup pong over on the table. We've still got cornhole out here. We've got Alessandra and Justin hanging out with us. Justin's trying to get the grill started. So we've got all the tailgate stuff that you're looking for. All of that, plus we're going to talk a little bit about what the Jaguars need to do to get that first win of the year, which is obviously a key, and maybe check in on some fans that are over at the stadium where people are getting ready for kickoff.
Exactly. I know we want to make sure that we check in at the stadium to see what it's looking like live on the ground. I mean, like you said, I know we're battling some mud, a little bit of rain, but that's not going to stop this roar.
No, that's not going to stop the home fans. We've got Chris Will live over at the stadium where fans are already starting to get a little bit of hype and making their way toward the bank. Chris, how's things over there at EverBank Stadium?
EverBank Stadium, yeah.
Yeah, you know, fortunately right now, we talked a little about how that rain could come. It's not here yet, so we're not, you know, the party is still going on, and they've been here pretty much all morning. We've got here at about 7 o'clock. They got here right as the parking opened at 9 o'clock. So let's take a little bit of a look around right now. We've got cornhole going on right here, people flinging the pigskin as you would expect on this game day. It has been packed, it has been a party, music is blasting, but most of all, fans are excited. How are we feeling? So we obviously got this home opener coming here today. How are we feeling about this game? What are we expecting here today?
We're expecting a win, nothing less.
Hoping and expecting a win.
A win.
Period.
So,
nothing else.
Home openers here, football's back in Jacksonville. What's it mean to be able to be out here partying it up on a Sunday?
You know, getting together with your friends is priceless. You know, we're not promised tomorrow, so we're living the best every day, and we're just happy to be out here all cheering for the same thing, the Jags win.
Yeah. So this game starts in about 2 hours, but we're here now. How long have we been here, and why did you make a point of getting out here early?
3:30 in the morning. No, I'm just kidding. We've been out here, I think, like 9:30, around 9:30, something like that, yeah.
Yeah. What type of preparation goes into a day like today?
No alcohol. No, just, yeah. So, that's for Mama at home. Hey, Mama. So just getting together. Everybody, today we were like, the only thing we were missing is plates. There was like a mad dash for plates, but we got the plates. We're good to go. We got all the drinks going, got the grill going. We got our Keith on the grill. We're ready.
So we're feeling good. We're feeling good. So again, 2 hours away from kickoff. When you get inside, what are we hoping to see?
Okay.
I want to see a Jags win. That's it. Yeah. I mean, we got to pull it out. We got all the pieces. Just got to put them all together and take the Browns down.
So what's the message to the Browns right now?
Just go home. Just go home.
Awesome. Thank you guys so much. One more Duval. Can I get one more Duval?
Hey, let's go. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Duval!
As you can see, the party's going to keep on going until kickoff starts, and it probably is going to continue after kickoff starts. So make sure that you stick with us throughout this pregame special, and we recap that game after the game and then preview this game before the game. We're running live from EverBank Stadium. Actually, EverBank Stadium. Chris Will, Channel 4, the local station.
I love it. Thanks, Chris. You gotta love it. Very simple message for the Cleveland Browns fans. Just go home.
Go home.
It's so funny because before that guy said it, you said it like 2 seconds before. Just go home.
That's what it is. Just go home. It's all right. Go home upset. Somebody has to leave today 0-2. Somebody has to leave 0-2.
Well, hopefully it's the Browns.
Hopefully it's the Browns. They've got the tailgate. We got to get Justin one of those aprons, right? He's going to work the grill. He needs to have an apron just like that.
I was going to say, I haven't seen that on the River City runway, but that was a killer look. I was really into that.
We're going to talk a little bit more about some Jaguars fashion later on in the show, but before we get to that, we got to talk about last week's matchup. We're going to let Jana and Alessandra keep playing some cornhole. Last year, the Jaguars and the Browns went head-to-head, and it wasn't the best game for the Jaguars. Take a look at some of the stuff from last year. The Jaguars struggled with that one. They ended up losing the game, but final score was pretty close. Jaguars kept it kind of tight toward the end. Browns ended up winning 31-27. The first downs were there for the Jaguars because they kind of got rolling late in it, but turnovers were the name of the game. It wasn't Trevor Lawrence's best day at work. They're going to be looking for a little bit of a better outing this go around against the Cleveland Browns.
4 sacks against Trevor Lawrence last year, 3 interceptions.
Yeah, it wasn't a day that he's going to write home about. But maybe this time things can be a little bit smoother for the Jags. That's what they're hoping for. The Browns definitely struggled last week against the Cowboys. So we'll see if we'll see if the Jaguars can kind of hit the mark. I mean, these cornhole tosses have not been hitting the mark. Maybe, there it is. Look, as I jinxed it, there it is.
Boom! Double or nothing.
As you can tell, these are not cornhole pros, but we're excited for one that's going to go through there. All right, we're going to keep the tailgate vibes rolling here. We still got plenty more coverage coming your way. We're going to have Richard Nunn get out on the grill, show us what he would do for his tailgate here in a second when we come back here for our News for Jags Ready to Roar. Stay tuned. Jana is in full-on Jags gear. Even had to check out the socks. I like a good sock game that's going on.
Right, sock game's strong. I talked to you this morning. I was like, hey, are we going like buttoned-up studio vibes? Are we going full tailgate? He said full tailgate. I said say less. Got my 89 Los Originals. It was an exclusive Jags drop.
Those just came out.
They just came out.
And sold out.
Came out, sold out. We were there. Listen, the local station was on top of it. And shout out to Lindsay for the sweet sock game, all right?
There we go. Full Jaguars attire. Now, if you're going to do the tailgate, you got the cornhole and you got to have the Jags gear, but part of it's what you're eating. You got to have something going. You got to have the grill hot and ready. And the Channel 4, legend in the kitchen is Richard Nunn.
Yeah,
It's
exactly.
about that simple. And he has his podcast called Nonsense. So if we were going to do this, we got to figure out what Richard Nunn's take on tailgate food would be like.
Exactly. So let's check it out and get it hot and ready with Richard.
It's going to be something simple, and I think they fit any home game, and that's the beer and brat. I like the beer, and the brat makes a nice addition to it, and that's where we're going to start before we get into the nonsense part of that, and that's bringing more flavor to the toppings, the pepper and onion. So come over here to the hot side, and let's get ready. I'm going to pop in some beer, ready for the sizzle. Yeah, and your favorite beer. It can be a dark beer, it can be a light beer, it can be 1 or 2 beers, depends on how many brats you're going to have. And in this case, we're just going with simple bratwurst. And what you're doing here is a simple parboil. We're going to cook them through, so that means that when your guests are eating them later, you're pretty much assured that you've got them done all the way. All right, we're gonna start these and we're gonna let them bubble. You can do this in a crock pot, let them go the night before, and that way you have something that's already done so you can transport it and you're just putting the finishing touches on it. And among the finishing touches is this. Of course, it's the peppers and the onions. It goes along with the sausage. What we're gonna do here is we're gonna do a salt method on these, and what that does is even without cooking, it starts to break down the cellulose tissue. And it's going to draw out some water, and we're going to do it in a colander, in a bowl. So we're gonna slice these up, put the salt on it. So let me show you what's gonna happen. We're gonna toss it. You wanna see little flakes of salt on everything. And I bet in the next maybe 10, 15 minutes at most, we're going to have some liquid at the bottom of the pan. And if you do it overnight, the results gets better. And why? You get rid of some of the water. So when you're putting them in the skillet or whatever you're going to be heating these on afterward, you're going to get more caramelization. More caramelization, that's more flavor. And that's nonsense. Let's check on our bratwurst over top of the grill. And you can tell by the colors here, that would be so unappetizing on any kind of bun, hun. But in just a couple of minutes, we're gonna put it over the heat next to these peppers, bring a little char to it, add some color, and those, my friends, are done. So we'll kill the heat on that, and we'll let them baste in the goodness that is beer. All right, right now the brats are ugly. They're just gray, but they're cooked, and that's gonna be great for all the folks that are at your tailgate. And look at this scrumptious goodness here. I'm sure you've had some sort of dehydrated fruit or vegetable in the past, and you take a bite out of a dehydrated apple and you're like, holy cow, that is really appley. That's what we've done here. We've made the onions more oniony. We've made the peppers more peppery, and that just means we've gotten rid of the liquid. We're bringing out the sugars. We're bringing out everything that gives the caramelization and the flavors to those. And what you're seeing at the bottom of the pan, it's still dry. So let's bring these things out here. Hello, Brody. And get these. Oh, that's what you want to hear. Almost a little, hear that? It's like a high-pitched week. That is the liquid hitting those hot tines and literally dancing right across the top. All right, let's put some color on the brats. That's what I'm talking about. There's your sausage dogs. Come on now. Sausage dogs. You know, for a Sunday assignment, you have the best seat in the house. Not only do you get to enjoy some football, but you're going to get to enjoy some good food. All brought to you by a little bit of nonsense. And in this case, just taking some time to pre-slice your vegetables, putting a little salt on it, and letting all of the juices drip out so that you don't end up with soggy buns, hun, and instead you end up with something that is quite good and really flavorful. But you don't have to take my word for it. The other sausage dog just disappeared. It looks like Tommy likes it. Tommy, do you like it? I guess then that's a win. Hey, taking a little bit of extra time, doing something a little bit different just to bring a little bit more flavor to your tailgate, that's not nonsense. That's nonsense. Now that, I can sink my teeth into. I surprise myself sometimes that's good.
Turn up for the tailgate. We are all about some nonsense here. I am jealous because that looks really good.
I know, I was gonna say a little drool.
It was definitely there. Yeah. But, you know, you got to have the grill going, and I think you said it while we were watching Richard's thing. The most important thing about the grill is the grill master and the supervisor, and we've got both of them over here, Justin and Alessandra, trying to get our grill going to see if maybe we can at least compete with what Richard had rolling.
Hey, exactly. Alessandra, how's it going?
No.
Hey, for yourself. Because I'm used to grilling on a gas grill, so it's a little bit different.
Why did you put the hot dog up there to begin with?
It goes too quick. So
he's trying to get it going. We're trying to get the grill going. We got the hot dogs going on now. Richard definitely showed us how to do it, though, because
Listen,
Richard's looks really good.
Open, lots of open flame.
I know, right? I know my mom and dad are watching back in New York, and they are so proud of me. The supervising.
Delegating.
now this is all. You cannot have a football tailgate show without the stuff. The hot dogs, the Richard stuff. It is amazing.
Hey, look, we'll have to get Richard to come out here and do this live with us one day as we kind of get ready for one of these home games. But a lot of fun there. Richard's definitely looks really good. Justin's, we'll give it a little time. We got to give it a little time to see how his comes out. I'm not going to grade it just yet, but he's got a tough one to beat.
Listen, I mean, I'm giving him all the credit because you didn't see me coming in here like Betty Crocker this morning. I was like, I know my lane and it is far away from the kitchen. I can bring a lot of personality and not a lot of baked goods.
I want those hot dogs burned.
You want them burned?
That's how I like my hot dogs. I like all my food burned.
Well, she's the New Yorker, so you know a thing or two about the hot dog stands in New York are like how you do it, right?
Yeah, burnt them. I want it charcoal. I want it burnt. That's how I love hot dogs.
What are your toppings? Topping choices?
Oh, put it all on.
Right?
Ketchup, mustard, put some relish on there. That needs to be on there for much longer.
And that's why she's the supervisor. Because
right.
she doesn't want to put Justin, the grill master, out of work. She just wants to tell him how to do it. These are key jobs, folks. These are key jobs on how you do a tailgate. You got to have the guy on the grill, and you got to have the supervisor that's telling him how it's done.
Another thing is you got to have a lighter and you got to have some starters. Just a little something we learned this morning. Or you could have some copy paper and a birthday lighter. Those are all things that can get you going in the morning.
Whatever works. Look, our folks over at the tailgate at the stadium, they said they were looking for plates too. It's the first home game of the year.
Right,
we're working out the kinks
that's
of this thing, folks. Even if you're doing your tailgate,
Right.
this is your first one. You're trying to, knock the rust off a little bit, or in this case, get the grill going for the first time. The wind is a challenge. Look, fair enough. It is windy, so the wind was blowing out the charcoal grill.
Yeah, we'll give Justin the benefit of the doubt.
Give him the
Maybe
benefit
that's
of the
the
doubt.
problem.
I mean, Alessandro,
Hey,
you and
those
Frank
look
talked
good
about
over there, I
this. You got to
will
have
say.
game day reps. We're getting game day reps right here. Like you and Frank said, hey, walking on can't walk in cold. So we're going to walk out with a win on the grill at least, right?
A win on the grill. Look, Richard Nunn made sure with his nonsense segment that at the very least we won tailgate food.
Absolutely.
That's true. That's true.
At the very least, we got that. We may not want nonsense, but we love some nonsense. We still got plenty more as we continue to count down to kickoff for the Jaguars. We'll come back to our tailgate. We'll see how Justin's doing on the grill. We'll play a little bit more games, have some fun out here. Hey, stay tuned. We've got plenty more coming your way right after this quick break.
That's not enough.
A little bit of trivia.
Exactly, a little bit of trivia, and
bit of
we're
cup.
going back to our college days.
All
so,
right.
I mean, since this is in River City Live and y'all got some rules on news, we just got water in these cups.
Yep.
But what's really on the line is the pride here,
Boring.
guys.
All
Okay?
All right.
That's right. All right, so this is how we're going to do this. There's the water in the cups. You got to drink the water, put the cup upside down, flip it back standing up, and to win, you have to get the trivia question right at the end.
I just
All
want
right?
to point out, I went to one of the biggest party schools in America.
All right, let's see what
But
you
I
got.
didn't do that, Mom and Dad, because I was studying and working.
That's right. That's right. That's what we'll go with. We'll
right.
see if those party skills can benefit Alessandra as we go through this.
I got her stand.
She's ready to
she's
go.
like,
She's in
right,
it.
all right.
So
Justin's
going
in
down.
trouble.
Let's do it.
All right. On your mark, get set, go.
This is so much water.
Now, while they struggle with that, we've got a couple of different things because there's a lot of stuff. She can't even get the water down.
Oh my goodness.
All right. Well, Justin, you might be
Wait, what are
okay.
you doing? I think you're supposed to
You
go.
gotta flip it. There you go.
Oh man.
There you go.
okay,
All right. You
okay. All right, Alessandra, Trevor Lawrence and Deshaun Watson both played at what college?
Clemson.
There you go. All right. Next
All
up.
right, one Alessandra.
This is too much water.
She's up 1-0, Justin. You're playing a little bit of catch up here.
They didn't drink water at the party school is what Alessandra's telling us.
Okay, so we've got plenty of trivia questions here. So just in case,
Yes,
all right,
okay.
this one's easy.
All right, Alessandra, who has more passing yards at Clemson, Deshaun or Trevor?
Trevor.
Wrong
No.
answer. Justin.
No way.
Justin.
Trevor Lawrence with all. And
Deshaun.
We'll ask him the next one.
Okay.
Who was the first Jaguars player to score points in a London game? First player ever to score a point in London.
Josh Scobie.
Nailed it. All right,
Nice.
so 1-1.
All right, 1-1.
All right, go to the next cup.
It's
Here
like
we go.
this weekend. We're 1-1, except for it's reversed. We didn't score anything
They're all
last
one.
weekend.
No, all right, Justin. Next question's for you. What Jaguars player has the most rushing yards as a rookie?
As
Ooh.
a rookie,
Yep.
Fred Taylor.
Nailed it. All right, he's
Woo!
up 2-1.
Ooh, all right, all right.
Here we go. Last one. Who's gonna get it? She could tie it or she could win it.
Come on, Alessandra. Come on, party school.
Come on.
What do y'all call her? Alabama?
Alabama. Oh, yeah, okay,
right.
hold on. We
right.
still gotta get the question now.
All right, what Jaguars player has the most career forced fumbles?
forced fumbles.
That's it. That's a tough one.
Forced fumbles.
You're gonna have to go back in the history books for this one.
I'm trying to think. Was it 2017?
No.
Not 2017. Give me a year.
2017. This was back in the 90s. This was a 90s
90s?
guy.
Like, girl, I'm reading these
Justin
questions for
knows
an
this
answer.
And you
one.
know who it is too. 90s defense. Okay,
He was number
forced
90.
fumbles. He was number 90.
He's giving you a hint. It's tough. It's tough.
Bracken. Tony Bracken.
There it is.
From the cheap seat.
Bracken. From the top to help her get the win. There you go. Okay.
And that, by the way,
that a tie?
he's a Georgia fan, and I
That
I
ties
won.
it, so we
3-1.
no.
Wait, 2-2?
He got 2, so it's 2-2. So we got a couple more trivia questions to try and get through this one. So we actually skipped one. So Justin will give you this one. All right.
I'm sweating.
Oh
just
my
from-
God, I'm sweating
Woo!
too.
It's the
Not
competition.
even playing.
It's the competition. All right, Justin. What Jaguars rookie holds the record for the most receiving yards in a single game with 236?
Justin Blackman.
All right, that one was
Come on.
easy. All right, one last
All right.
question. This is a chance for you to
You
tie
grew up a
it.
Jaguars fan.
All right. Which former Jaguars player holds the record for most career interceptions returned for a touchdown?
Career interceptions returned for a touchdown.
Yes.
Career
From
interceptions
Jacksonville.
returned from-
Played high
he's
school
from
football
Jacksonville.
not far from here. I'll even tell you the high school if you want it.
Inglewood.
Inglewood. He knows it.
Inglewood?
That's it. He used to host shows for the Jaguars right here on Channel 4. I'm giving you every hint I can without giving it away.
Englewood?
He went to Inglewood High School, played for the Jaguars.
Mathis. Woo!
Wow.
Mathis.
That is the last name, Rashean Mathis. Okay, we'll give it to you. Jaguars guy. All right, we tied it up. We ran out of trivia questions.
Leroy Tyler was screaming Mathis, and I was like, I don't know. I didn't grow up a Jaguars fan. I grew up a Giants fan.
It was a phone a friend moment.
You had to do your homework. She had to do her homework for this one. It was interesting, but the crowd was clearly favoring Alessandra in this one. But we'll give it a tie.
Good job. Good job.
Justin performed a little bit better than maybe we gave him credit that he might, though.
Yeah?
I think she was maybe surprised. He was flipping those cups on you.
Yeah.
You were pretty good.
Don't expect much from me. I'm out of my prime.
Yeah, there you go.
We'll see what Justin has left. We'll get him back on the grill and along with the supervisor because we have to check on those hot dogs that are rolling. But we still got plenty more. We're going to check out on some.
I'm just looking at the
Jaguar
smoke
swag.
coming out over your head. I'm like,
Yeah, I know. We should check on that.
we should check on
Hopefully
that.
the smoke is a good thing. Hopefully, she said she wanted them burnt.
That's true.
I hope all of y'all want them burnt too.
Because we might not have any other options. We'll get a check at what's underneath that grill when we come back after a quick break. And then we'll also talk maybe a little bit of Jaguars fashion. I know Jana's already modeling some of it, but we'll show you what you can wear to your next home game. That's coming up right after this when we continue to count down to kickoff here on News for Jags.
Welcome to the News for Jax tailgate special, guys.
We've got Justin and Alessandra back on the grill trying to get it right. Alessandra, can you grade what he's doing? How's he coming along?
Now, while Alessandra was cheating at Flip Cup, these were
win, you
cooking.
mean?
These are ready to go.
Let me tell you,
Are they ready to go?
I did a phenomenal job supervising because these hot dogs look great.
Well, grill the buns now, Justin. Richard taught you how to do it, so go ahead and do that. And then maybe we can get a taste test on one of Alessandra's burnt
I think they
hot
look
dogs.
great.
They do look pretty good.
Your parents are going to be proud,
That's
Alessandra.
right.
Thank you. You know what? I'm the greatest supervisor to supervise Justin's hot dogs.
She's going to add that to the resume. News for Jax grill supervisor.
Thank you.
It is perfect. I like it. The skills are there. We're gonna have to get some tests and see if maybe the next time we do this we can add some Jag swag to our maybe a hamburger with like like
an iron press on there.
Iron press on there.
Like a
News for
brand.
Jags right on the top. It's all about the branding. I mean, Jana's got the Jag swag rolling. I got our towel out here. I got our News for Jags. We'll just.
Listen, I was really proud of this crew. Out behind the camera, you look amazing. Amber, she's got her swag on. Kyle, Justin, everyone looks really great.
Everybody's ready.
And it's a huge part of the game day experience because obviously you want to walk into a stadium, you want to know, everyone wants to know who you're cheering for. And the great thing about what the Jaguars have done is really taken a local focus on it. So Fanatics, they stock that pro shop. It's a local company. Last year we saw LaFarve bringing in their product and it was another local connection. We've seen that with Duval Designs. And this year we got to see it with 89 Los Originals. Get ready to roar, Jags fans. It is that time of year. Whether you're tailgating right here at the bank or cheering on the Jags from home, it is time to show the world how Duval does football fashion. Let's go. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Miller Electric Center Pro Shop. I am here with my game day gal, Gracie, who's going to give us a tour and show us what is new for Jags swag this season. Gracie, thanks for opening up the shop just for me.
Yeah, of course. We have so much new stuff and great stuff in today, and I'm so excited to show you guys.
So first of all, obviously, the little Jags Junior section really caught my eye because, let's be real, we want to start the Jags fans young. So this is a great section full of really fun items.
Okay, so first we're going to start out with our little 12, 18, and 24-month jerseys. We have this in the black and the throwback as well. Have some little gloves. We have, going up into like youth size, a little bit more toddler. We have this, all kinds of the little toys that you could ever want. We have those here, and then we have some little onesies, which are so
cute.
Freaking cute. Again, like she said, have to start them young, and this is an infant, so we have to super start them young. And then we have some more youth stuff right here. We're gonna go in our hoodies, all kinds of jerseys. We also have our throwbacks in, which are awesome, and I know that's a big hit this year with our throwback season, 30th year. So yeah, that's pretty much all for our kids stuff, and then we roll over
and then
here.
Our big kids.
Yep, and then we have roll into here, which is all of our hats. We have that Prowler logo, which is going to be our throwback for this year. And then just moving on, we have some of our sideline hats right over here, which are just great and amazing. These will be worn on the sidelines, so make sure to get those. And then we just have, moving forward, just some throwbacks mixed in here, as well as just some regular hats.
I definitely want to stop us right here because there's also so many great things for if you have someone hosting a Jags party, if you're going to be visiting someone's tailgate, you don't want to go empty-handed. So a hat, a glass, a cup, anything like that is a great way to be an awesome guest that's always going to be invited back to the slab. What do you think?
Perfect. Amazing.
Okay, so obviously game day outfit. Like when you're building it, I personally love any sort of Jags swag when it comes to building my game day outfit, but some people like a classic jersey. So Gracie, it looks like you've got a lot of options here.
Yes, so we do. We have both of our throwback jerseys here with Lawrence and ETN, multiple other jerseys, but also it's Florida, so it's 100 million degrees outside, so we got some tanks here. We have plenty of options for you, as well as some classic t-shirts and stuff, and then as we get into a little colder months, we have some things offered there as well, so.
Exactly, so many options, whether it's guys, gals, anybody who's looking to really amp up their game day look, you have all of your favorites. And like you said, I love that we're incorporating that throwback logo. We're gonna be seeing a lot of that this season.
Throwback jerseys right up here in the top middle, so we have those so they're, you know, displayed and so everyone sees them when they walk in.
So many different options. One thing I know that Gracie is going to make sure that you're styling in is your clear bag options. Now we know that EverBank has gone completely clear bag when it comes to the rule, but all of these are perfectly fine options to take in with you, right, Gracie?
Yes, correct. So these are so many different options. We have a crossbody, we have a fanny pack, we have a shoulder bag, and then we even have this super cute Veer Bradley collab that we did. That's a fanny pack as well. So you have all the different options, whatever purse girl you are, we have you covered.
Now, Gracie, obviously the number one question everyone has is when can we shop?
So you can shop home game weeks, Thursday and Friday, 10 to 3, but every Friday from 10 to 3, and then during our home games, you can shop before the game starts until kickoff. So whenever the parking lot's open. So yeah, come shop and come see us.
All right, we'll see you on the River City runway. All right, so that was a look at the Miller Electric Center Pro Shop. Obviously, those doors are open now, and obviously they took all my money this week. I mean, that's why I don't have a lot to lose. If we talk about betting later, like $1 or a coffee, we're gonna have to keep it cheap, all right?
We'll keep it cheap. We'll talk a little bit about sports betting later. That's big. It's here in Florida now, so a lot of people, that's part of their now game day experience. We're playing a little bit of cup pong as we kind of move our way through the show as we count down to kickoff. Jana has the lead on me. I'll have to get Alessandra to see if she can help me out here in a second. Not too often that we do this on TV, but you know what? Clearly Jana has the skills and I'm over here struggling.
I also went to a party school.
Right. So, but a lot of stuff, and you gotta love that a lot of the Jaguars merch that you see people wearing, they're local companies that are here to Jacksonville. So people elsewhere don't get the same stuff. It's not like you're going to see somebody else in a Cleveland Browns shirt that looks exactly like the one that Jana has on.
Yeah, and what was so cool is Carlos, the designer of the 89 Los Originals line, he's going to be dropping more stuff throughout the year, again, right beside the NFL logo of the Jags. But he was at this station exactly 1 year ago, and this was already cooking. So he had to keep it a secret, but we already saw that local support, that local love. When he made this drop, it was literally thunder, lightning, rain. It's when all of this started, and he was still out there signing shirts, taking selfies, and that's the kind of local love we want to see. We saw it from LaFar last season, and we're going to continue to see the Jags really lift up local artists in the local community.
Let's not talk thunder, lightning, and rain. We've seen enough of that for a lifetime over the past couple of weeks, and there was sun here not that long ago, and now the sun is gone as the wind keeps pushing. We're hoping that there's none of that today. We're not even going to use the buzzwords because we would love a dry game out there at EverBank Stadium, which is pretty cool. We still got plenty more here as we continue to count down to kickoff. We'll see if we can finish this game of beer pong. I tried.
It was the wind. Oh, no, the wind.
It's the wind. We got to test the wind. It's almost like a golf swing now. Justin and our grill master, Justin and our supervisor just pulled the hot dogs off the grill. We'll get a taste test rolling here in a second.
Woo!
Actually, Justin's already rolling with one now. We'll get him to evaluate it, and we'll get Alessandra's grade on that here in just a second when we come right back after a quick break. All right, the dogs are off the grill. Our grill master has done his work. Supervisor, what do you think? How'd he do?
I started eating right away. These are really good.
I know, hey.
I'll give it to you. These are really good. Start barking for your dogs.
Even an idiot can grill hot dogs. That's the moral of the story.
And you have proved
Even
that today.
There you go.
grill a hot dog.
They're really good, and he burnt a lot of them, so I'm very happy.
That's the
by
instructions
request.
she
I'm very
gave him.
happy.
That was by request, though.
That's right.
She wanted them burnt.
I wanted
he
them
delivered.
burnt. They are
Very
really
well done.
good.
I don't know. Look, just from the eye, I haven't dove into one yet. I don't know if it's going to be on the nonsense
It's definitely
level.
not. It's definitely not.
But he had a few more things working his way.
He's got a little more mileage on him in terms of experience in the cooking behind the grill.
We'll still take Richard Dunn on the grill anytime, but you know what? Justin got 2 thumbs up. Clearly, he has passed Alessandra's test, which is always good.
Good job.
Part of your game day experience is kind of food. Look, you're going to the game.
Right.
Every
gotta eat.
sporting event has something that's food-wise. You got to eat, whether you're eating at the tailgate or eating once you go to the stadium, right?
Exactly. And Justin, I mean, you did the thing you need to do. You listen to your customer. You listen
That's
to your
right.
supervisor. There you
You can
go.
follow instructions.
That's one of the
and
few
that,
times.
And that is what the Jaguars did. So this past year, there was some feedback about how to improve the food once you got inside the gates of the stadium. So they actually took a poll, the voice of the Jags, and they said, listen, everyone was worrying about game day eats, and we had to make them better. So they teamed up with Delaware North, and they actually took all of the season ticket holders, had them do a blind taste test to pick out things like new pretzels, new burgers, new hot dogs. So we're actually going to take you to see a sneak peek of what you can see inside the gates at EverBank or Trevor Bank this week.
So when you come out to EverBank Stadium for a Jags game, you come out for a great game, great experience. But I'm gonna tell you, we are about some great food, and I'm gonna sample it just for you. The things I have to do for you guys. Oh well, you know where my bread is buttered, so I'm super excited to be hanging out with Marcus Need. He's the general manager of Delaware North, who has created this I shouldn't say created. You guys have kind of collaborated, but you've tweaked the menu that people are going to be having here in the stadium.
Correct.
And to put it in perspective, you, the fans, I guess we, the fans, we actually had a little bit of say in how things came about this year, correct?
Yes, absolutely. We established a fanfare council, which basically encompassed of all the season ticket members that wanted to join it. We started off with a survey about our food and beverage offers in the stadiums and our overall experience. And then at that point, we went to the next level and we opened it up to a tasting event where we brought the fans out, went through several items, and had the fans be a part of our final selections for simple things to more extravagant things. Say, for instance, simple would be the hot dog bun. We made a change in our hot dog bun this year. We went from a standard, enriched roll to a potato roll.
I'm sorry, it's been great talking to you. I want to talk to the real maestro of this situation, so bye.
Bye-bye.
We wanted to talk to someone who had really hands-on experience with all of this stuff. So this is Brenda, she's the executive, or sous chef?
Yes.
See, I didn't even know that was a thing. I learn something new every day. And I'm about to learn about this food, let me tell you. Let's start off with the hot dog, because people love a good hot dog when they come out here, and you guys are like, yeah, we like our hot dogs, but we want to do something else.
Yeah, we have a Stahlmeyer hot dog. This season we switched out the brand. We are now using a Martin's potato roll for our bun. And then we've got our Bavarian pretzel.
So what makes this pretzel a little bit of a difference from what people have experienced?
It's a lot softer.
So some of us with bad teeth, it'll help us out with that. But let me tell you, I'm really excited about this. This is like the new wave I've been seeing all over the internet. Walking tacos. This is new?
It is new.
And what are we working with?
We have 3 different toppings. It could either be a barbacoa, chicken tinga, or impossible meat.
These chicken sandwiches, oh my criminy, what? Never thought of having a teriyaki chicken sandwich at a stadium. I am here for it. And of course, you have your burgers. But we were going down the list, I'm like, what are all of these different levels? Y'all, buckle up and loosen your pants. You're gonna need it. If you were into Capri Sun as a kid, well, as an adult, things done changed. So I'm here with students from the North Florida School of Special Education, and they will be manning the Al's Pizza booths here on the main concourse in 141 and 114. And I've got my man John here. He's gonna be our spokesperson for the day. So what is it like for you guys to be able to make all of this food and share with the community?
I know it's a blessing, going to the school. Chefs are amazing, we have some fun times. But, it's mostly working and, going out there with the community, making all the food for the people and having them and enjoying it, have a little talk and all that.
if you want to come out and have the experience, do that. Come out, root for the Jags, get full on all of this stuff, and to the bowl, y'all. I feel it. Duval!
Listen,
That
you can
looks
always
really
count on
good.
Rance to make sure we're in the know with the food.
Yeah,
right?
look, the food looks really good. I mean, Justin's hot dogs came out really good, but that stadium food,
Phenomenal.
Yeah.
I'm hungry just thinking about it.
Looks amazing. I mean, and it just shows you too that the Jags are engaged in what their fans want, what they want to eat, what they want to wear, and so many of those brands are locally sourced, which is what we love to see at the local station and the local tailgate.
That's right. It is all about the game day experience. Jaguars got to care about the fans because that's what it's about. It's about the fan experience. It's called the fan experience. You care about the fans. Now, part of the fan experience for a lot of folks now in Florida, with it being legal, sports betting. So let's take a look at what some of those folks that maybe are doing some sports betting before the game care about. The Jaguars are favorites going into this week against the Cleveland Browns. Cleveland struggled last week against the Cowboys. This week, the spread is 3 points, so the Jaguars are 3-point favorites. The total for the game is at 41.5. And then last week, the Jaguars were actually a 3.5-point underdog. That looked like it was a solid one at some point during the game. And then, you know what? Actually, it did work out because they only lost by 3. So they still covered for you.
Still covered.
Good teams win, but great teams cover. that is a phrase for sports betting folks out there. Good teams win, but great teams cover. And
Hey,
so far,
Vegas is expecting this to be a close game then.
they are expecting this to be a close game, but they favored the Jaguars to win at home, which is always good. We'll see if the Jaguars can pull it off. We'll talk a little bit more about the matchup, what the Jaguars need to do to get that win, get our picks on what we think the Jaguars are going to do. All that's coming up right after this as we continue to kind of count down to kickoff here at the local tailgate. Maybe we'll play a little bit of cornhole or something here as we retire the grill.
I'm still kicking you at old Flip Cup over here.
I need a rematch with Alessandra in the Flip Cup. Maybe we'll do cornhole.
Maybe we can get the table rolling here in a second. But we'll be right back after a quick break. We'll talk a little bit more about the matchup. That's straight ahead.
Too much muscle. That's Alessandra.
We're trying to break the tie here since there it is. That's two in a row there, right? We're trying to break the tie. I'm helping Justin out.
Man.
Jana's helping Alessandra out. The two of them tied at Flip Cup, so we're going to play a little cornhole to break it out. But let's talk a little bit about the Jaguars and the Browns while we do this, right? So the two quarterbacks for the teams. Were you throwing that back to me? I hope so, because if that was aiming, that was bad.
No, it was for you. It's for you. We
Okay, that's what we'll go
level
with.
the field, kind of like we're going to do in a couple hours.
Both of the quarterbacks are looking to have accuracy like Jana and make easily catchable passes here. Deshaun Watson for one team with the Cleveland Browns. Trevor Lawrence at EverBank Stadium for the Jaguars. Take a look at some of their stats so far as Trevor and Deshaun have both gotten off to maybe slower starts to the season than maybe they had in vision.
Deshaun Watson has been a mess ever since they traded for him.
Yep.
He kind of followed that up again last week, so I don't think we're going to see the Deshaun Watson of Texans lore. I think we get the new Deshaun Watson, and you got to question if he loves the game after all the stuff he's been through personally off the field.
Well, you know, last week, both of them under 200 yards passing, but Trevor had the much better passer rating there, 97.7, which is pretty good. While Deshaun Watson, on the other hand, was harassed by the Cowboys defense. The Jaguars defense is going to be looking to do a similar thing. So let's talk a little bit more about the Jaguars offense. We're passing out beanbags here while we play cornhole. Trevor Lawrence is passing out the football to his favorite targets out there, and there are a couple of guys that are going to be playing their first home games at the bank with the Jaguars this year. Gabe Davis, Brian Thomas Jr., both of them got off to solid starts to their Jaguars career in week one. Brian Thomas Jr. got that first nasty touchdown out of the way, which is always fun. You love to see a rookie score his first touchdown in his first NFL game.
Oh my God, I love to see it too. And he was so excited after the game. I remember I talked to him at Nemours when he was announced as the brand ambassador, and he just had the biggest smile on his face. He says that's something that he'll always remember. Hopefully Christian Kirk can have a better game this time, 1 for 4. Not great, not what we usually see from Christian Kirk. He's usually the go-to guy for Trevor Lawrence. So hopefully we can see more touchdowns, more end zone celebrations, and hopefully we can see Jaguars win. I mean, you're looking at, when you look at this still, those are really good football players.
Yep.
They have the chance of just absolutely destroying the Browns today, and hopefully they can, but they're going to have to stop Myles Garrett first.
They are going to have to stop Myles Garrett, which is tough. Evan Ingram got off to that slow game last week. We'll see if he can have a much better outing. I'm sure he's going to be trying to do that. But so far, the Jaguars have definitely surrounded Trevor with some weapons. Those aren't the only weapons that they have. They also have the running backs, which are pretty good. Even if Travis Etienne had a game that he probably wants to forget. So maybe, I don't know, it wasn't against the Browns, but does this count as like a revenge outing as he tries to bounce back?
I think so. And how about Tank Bigsby, though? What his game was last week when Jaguars are backed up on their own 8-yard line, they give the ball to Tank Bigsby. He produces a career-high rushing game, and you got to see that. You like the confidence from him because I know he felt like last season was a complete whiff on his part. So good to see Tank, and you know Travis will find a way to bounce back.
Yeah, I think anytime you step on the field, like, it's got to be a moment for revenge, right? Like, if you're coming off, you guys talked about the 24-hour rule. It's the same rule my mom has after a breakup. She's like, you got 24 hours to get over it and get back out there. Update that profile pic and keep it moving. So that's what we got to do this week, and I think we're going to see a lot of that. But one thing that you guys talked about this week was, hey, are we moving any resources that might leave Trevor open? So what are we thinking about that? Where can we move, and where can we make sure he's still safe? Because you know how I like my quarterbacks? Crispy clean, right?
Crispy clean. They got to have the white jersey at the beginning and the white jersey at the end. That's Jana's rule, and we live by it. And we'd like to see that for Trevor. We'll see if they can do that. The offensive line definitely left a little bit to be desired last week, but they played a solid game. That did not. That was a shot. That was a pretty good shot.
Jamal and I are the Jaguars offensive line in this cornhole game because Jana is actually just smashing us. You can't tell, and we're getting
Party Skulls with red for the win.
Crushed. So
get out of here.
Hopefully the Jags offensive line perform better than us.
I've got a couple of points. Oh, I just broke the thing as I was trying to like hand clap myself for doing all right. But all right. Well, look, the Jaguars have been rolling, and we're counting down to kickoff, and the Jaguars actually have already rolled out their inactives. Take a look at the inactives, the guys that won't be on the field, and there are a couple of key guys that are on this one. Darnell Savage was a starter. He was a key free agent addition for the Jaguars. He is out this week, which is not great to see because they're also going to be missing Tyson Campbell, who the team placed on injured reserve earlier this week. And then they also are missing Javon Foster, who's a rookie offensive lineman, Cole Van Lanen, a backup offensive lineman, Tyler Lacey, who's a second-year defensive lineman, Mason Smith, that's maybe an interesting one, second-round pick, played last week against Miami. The second-round pick is going to get the week off this week as he gets to watch from the sideline. So is Jordan Jefferson, another rookie defensive lineman, also from LSU. A couple of LSU Tigers going to be watching from the sideline, but they'll get to cheer on their guy, Brian Thomas Jr., who's going to be playing for sure. But some interesting things on this inactive list for this week.
Yeah, in your second week, Cole Van Lanen's been inactive. Yep. Second week, Javon Foster's been inactive. Not surprising. Looks like defensive line rotation is set from these inactives with those three guys being on the bench. I think Jacksonville happy with what they got from those guys they had on the field last week.
Not having Mason Smith clearly means that Eric Armstead, they liked what they saw last week. He mentioned that he was on a little bit of a pitch count last week and that he should be ready to go. There we go. Nice shot from Justin. He should be ready to go this week on a full workload. So that's good news for the Jaguars defensive line. Bad news for the Cleveland Browns because Eric Armstead, a really good player, had a sack last week, first game with the Jags, and was playing on a pitch count. So if you already got a sack with just a short workload, just imagine what he's going to do with the full workload.
Yeah, right? And with those inactives too, we don't have Tyson Campbell in there because he went to IR this week, so he's out at least 4 games. So you're losing your top 2 guys in the secondary this week. I don't know if it's as bad because you're playing Deshaun Watson, who is not proven much of anything in Cleveland, so probably a good game to be missing those guys.
But the good thing from week 1 is that both Jarian Jones and Buster Brown had some game reps, so they're not coming in completely blind into this week.
Right, which are the 2 guys that are going to have to fill the role. Jarian Jones going to be replacing Darnell Savage. Yep. Buster Brown going to have to replace Tyson Campbell on the outside. Definitely one that they could make that work with. It's going to be interesting to watch those 2 young guys get a little bit more time to play.
Called Christian Braswell up from the practice squad.
One of the guys that we saw make a big play during the preseason, so we'll keep an eye on him. Now, as we continue to count down, it's time to kind of pick this game. I think we all have kind of alluded to where we feel about this one, but Justin, I'm going to let you go ahead and go first. Who do you think is going to win, and give me your why?
I think Jacksonville wins. I think if they can put together a consistent game, which they have not been able to do a lot under Doug Peterson, it's usually a very inconsistent performance, even at their best times. But I think if Jacksonville can put together a consistent performance like we saw in the first half last week. I think they have a good chance at winning, and I don't have a lot of confidence in Deshaun Watson, so I'm going to say Jacksonville. I think point spread is 3.5. I'm going to go 24-20 Jags.
There we go. I like Justin's pick. All right, Jana, we got with you this morning. What do you think?
I was like, yeah, Kyle, where do we land for me? You guys should have seen me. I landed on 2017. Y'all should have seen me trying to be like real sportsy, but like not off vibe with it, because I was like, it's going to be muddy. There's a lot of factors going on out here. But I also see us like, no matter what happens in this game, since so many different people got game reps last week, like I feel like our bench is a little bit warmer, a little bit deeper, so we have the home team advantage. We haven't gotten to play at home in months, so I think that we're going to come out of the gate strong. I just want us to stay strong throughout, because that was where got a gut punch last week.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, Alessandra?
Listen, the spread's 3, but I go 24-14. I think the Jaguars are going to win this one. There should be a lot of smiles on Jaguars fans' faces. I just don't think Deshaun Watson is going to be able to deal with the Jaguars defense. I think the Jaguars defense are going to be the stars of the show again.
Look, all of you are much closer than I am. I roll landslide. The Browns look bad last week. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. Their game is worse than me and Justin's cornhole game here.
I was going to say, I feel like
the ladies are winning.
Definitely.
That out.
So, that's one way to throw it. Yeah, I have the Jaguars winning 30-17. I think this is going to be a big week for them, bounce back kind of game. There's some tough feelings in that locker room about the way last week ended. They kind of let their foot off the gas. I guarantee you this week they're going to keep their foot on the gas pedal. I got 30-17. We'll see what happens.
All right.
But I think it's going to be a big week for the Jaguars defense. I think it's going to be a good week for Trevor Lawrence. We'll see just how it all kind of comes together. But I'm feeling maybe Trevor Lawrence rushing touchdown in this thing.
Okay, yeah.
I
And
agree.
Trevor didn't have a good game statistically, but he did have quite a few drops. I mean, he had 2 by Christian Kirk on 3rd down that were pivotal. Evan Ingram had a big drop. So that passing game, the 12 of 21, I think he could have been significantly better had those guys held on the ball.
All right, so it is a sweep here. Even our producer, Kyle Ashley, on the screen. Kyle has 24-13 or 27-13 for the Jaguars. Everybody is picking the Jaguars. Sometimes that's a good omen. Sometimes it's a bad omen. In this case, we're going to go with that it's good.
The good omen. And last week in our picks, you won.
Yep.
And Alessandra won.
Both of us nailed it.
Kyle and I are 0-1. So we got to get back on that saddle. Jamal won our picks last year.
Yep.
And I think Alessandra was a couple of games behind, but Jamal is the defending, reigning picks champion among the department.
And we'll see if I can make that 2 years in a row. We'll try and keep picking these weeks. You can go online. If you go over to newsforjacks.com, you can actually pick all of the games for the NFL slate with us each week. A little bit of an interactive thing. Compete against us. See if you can beat us in your picks.
And now I am winning right now. I just want to point that
Alessandra
out.
is in the overall lead, but she is out of the survivor pool part of it.
That's very true. That's very true.
So, there's give and take with it. But we're counting down to kickoff. We're getting closer to it. We're going to head over to the stadium here in just a second as we wrap up kind of our tailgate. We hope you had as much fun as we have out here, and maybe your cornhole game is a little bit better than ours.
I think the unofficial score on cornhole is probably Jana by a lot.
Yeah, Jana by a lot wins
really
the cornhole. But you know what? You at home, if you tuned in for this full hour with us, you're the real winner of this whole thing. We're counting down to kickoff. You'll have coverage of the game coming up a little bit later on here during the Sunday Sports Zone. That's at 10:30 right here on Channel 4. Hey, thanks for hanging out with us. Kickoff for that game is at 1 o'clock. Tune in and then come here later on, and we'll help you wrap up the game. Win or lose, we'll be here. Thanks for hanging out with us. Have a great game day, folks.
Duval!
You're watching News 4 Jax Plus.